After watching the congressional hearings on the January 6th attack of the U.S. Capitol, something became clear to me. I finally saw that proof of the stolen election that Donald Trump had been referring to since voting day, November 3rd, 2020. Like many epiphanies, once it hit me, it seemed as if it was obvious and had been there all along. The thing is, Trump was pointing to this proof for the months leading up to the election in 2020. He said it. He said it over and over and over. He told us that we would all know if the election was rigged, if it was fraudulent. And then that very evidence he predicted, it appeared. And the thing is, this evidence was not only something he predicted in 2020. Oh, no. He called it out in the 2016 presidential election and in the 2016 Republican primary election. In fact, he was so insightful about his ability to see the proof of a rigged election that he even saw the same evidence 10 years ago in 2012. The evidence that made the "Stop the Steal" ring with that classic Trump only not at all close to the truth vibe. The evidence that made some Republicans call the violent insurrection on January 6th legitimate political discourse. That evidence, that irrefutable evidence that the election was stolen, was that Joe Biden won the election. Here's the irony and the illogic of Trump's thinking. Trump's proof that he didn't lose was that he actually lost. For him to be right that it was a rigged election, he had to and did lose the election. Here he is in 2020.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
Because the only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Remember that.
The only way we can lose is if the election is rigged. If Biden wins, the election was stolen. This was not only his line in 2020. Here he is in 2016 saying the same thing in his race against Hillary Clinton.
The election is being rigged by corrupt media pushing false allegations and outright lies in an effort to elect Hillary Clinton president.
He even said this about Ted Cruz winning the Iowa Republican caucus in 2016.
You have tweeted that Senator Ted Cruz stole the Iowa election. What do you mean he stole the Iowa contest?
I think what he did is disgusting.
And in 2012, he made the same claims about Barack Obama when he beat Mitt Romney in the presidential election. You can see the seedlings of his current big lie that we hear from him today. On Election Day, November 6, 2012, at 11:29 p.m. after the voting was closed, he started commenting on Barack Obama's victory. Trump publicly wrote, "We can't let this happen. We should march on Washington and stop this travesty. Our nation is totally divided." He then made one of those classic Trump posts with false information and misspellings and the use of the wrong word when he wrote, "The phony electoral college made a laughingstock out of our country. The loser won." I think he meant W-O-N. But anyway, he's trying to say that Barack Obama lost and couldn't even figure out how to type that. He then goes on to say he lost the popular vote by a lot and won the election. We should have a revolution in this country. Sound familiar? Turns out this was, of course, the opposite of true. Obama, like Biden, won both the popular vote and the Electoral College. But back to Trump on Election Day 2012. Let's fight like hell and stop this great and disgusting injustice. The world is laughing at us. We can now see the practice lines that he would use to incite the insurrectionists to storm the Capitol on January 6th and try to stop the transition of power. Going on to say, more votes equals a loss, revolution. And then, this election was a total sham and travesty. We are not a democracy. See, he's been pitching this same lie for over a decade, and he will never stop. When someone like Trump is so unconcerned with what the American people say with their votes that any loss by him or by those whom he supports is due to a rigged election, then to him, we don't have elections for the common good at all. To him, elections are seen as coronations designed to give him power. So, May this man continue to experience the reality of the power of the vote of the American people and to continue to lose and lose and lose and lose every time and any time he runs for office. And as he continues to peddle his worn-out, decade-old trope of lies about a rigged election, may they continue to fall in unresponsive ears and hearts. And may the rest of us continue to have faith, hope, and love in and for each other, and may we continue to vote common good.